Well, it is the seventh day of World's Groups, the final day of World's Groups, and I'm joined right now by Santorin after an unfortunate loss to Gen G, uh, putting Team Liquid out of the event. Of course, this coverage is brought to you by Alienware. So, Santorin, I know just a brutal day. It always feels like for so many North American rounds get decided this way, or Worlds situations in the tiebreaker. So, I guess I'd love to know where your mind is at right now. How are you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, don't feel great. From the 3 years I've been to Worlds, I feel like this is actually a group that was very, very possible of getting out of. Just like from the group draw itself, I was already like in my mindset of, oh, we can make it out, which is not something I've had the other years. Like this is like the first time where it felt real. Um, so going all the way to a tiebreaker and losing in the classic anyway, that's hard, especially because it's the team we just beat previously. So it's kind of like we gave it everything we had, but it just wasn't enough today. Just overall, I mean, for me, like the health issues and all the things in Team Liquids, like I still overall, I'm happy with how it turned out overall. But for me, I just really want to go like one step further.
Yeah. What do you think it was today that held you back? Because obviously there were some great wins, and then there were just these couple of losses. So I don't know what do you think stopped TL from cementing just one more win?
I think we just, I mean, obviously there were a lot of nerves and it's very intense games. So I feel like both sides were making a lot of crucial mistakes. We just made a couple too many. There's also a lot of, I mean, thinking back, there was a lot of times where we gave too many objectives and we let the other team breathe too much. I feel like we should have pressured a lot harder when we had a lead. And uh, I actually like to say that our macro is not that good today. So I consider that the biggest issue. And I think everyone could have played better individually, but I'm still like happy with how we did in overall.
Yeah. I don't know if you had a chance to talk about this, but I hadn't seen it anywhere. How have your health issues been during the World's run?
They've been a lot better because it feels like we have solutions for my issues. So I only think I had 1 or 2 days with headaches like throughout the last 2 months, while playing like pretty much nonstop for most of the year. Sorry, the month.
Yeah.
So I've been feeling a lot better. That it's just like there are precautions I have to take sometimes, like put a little more time into like sleeping and like actually like caring about my health. But I've been really happy because I didn't have to sit out of a single scrim, and I just felt like a lot heavier. Because like earlier this year was really brutal with so much tension in my head 24/7, and like always having like that feeling of my head might explode anytime, and if it explodes, like I might screw my entire team over. So I've been like feeling a lot better mentally because of that.
Yeah. Well, obviously that's been a big part of this year for you, but also I just love to kind of hear from you if you can take me through what 2021 was like, being part of this Team Liquid team, and sort of the path that you guys took and the journey that you took. I know you said you, even though I know you wanted to go further, it's like you're happy given all the challenges that occurred with the team this year to make it as far as you did and have the results as you did. But what has this year been like for you? If you kind of want to take me through it, since we're now done with the season.
I think it's, I mean, kind of weird because I feel like it's like a roller coaster, just like my entire career, where it started really strong. We won the lock-in tournament, then there are health issues and other things. So like it kind of like crashed for a while, and then we come back stronger. Kind of like how my whole career has been, where there's a lot of bumps in the road, but in the end we came out stronger. And for me, I in start of summer, I was doubting we'd even get top three. I didn't think we were going to go to Worlds, because there are a lot of issues, not just my health. There's a lot of like issue with the team, coach replacement, all these kind of things, and I mean even like top lane benching, and I just think there are so many issues that like that's why I'm like when I look at the entire year, I still feel proud of going 3-3 in groups and almost making it out, just because I early this year didn't have that high of expectations. So I just want to like say to my team, like I'm really proud of all of them, and I've been really, really grateful to be on a team that kept pulling through, even though top laner was benched, coaches out, junglers like dealing with a lot of issues. I'm sure like another team wouldn't have done it to like this degree, and we wouldn't even have made it to World. So I'm really happy about being on this team.
Hmm. I mean, I think a good way of looking at it for sure. Broadening out just from the team side, there were a lot of people that were mocking North America ahead of this Worlds, and obviously the last 2 years have been not great for us. This year, though, Cloud9 did make it out in a very crazy way. You guys made it all the way to this tiebreaker and took games very, very much off of the other teams in your group, and very competitive. 100 Thieves took the game against EDG. So I'd love to hear from you as a North American competing at Worlds. Like, what do you think this Worlds should mean or show or indicate for North America as a region?
Yeah, it's actually, I'm really, really happy it went this way this year, because I think every single year as a player in America, it's kind of felt like it just gets, the gap gets bigger and bigger. Like people always say, oh, it's closing, but it just felt like it was getting bigger. Whereas like this year, when I watched like overall competition, the only team that I'm actually like, wow, this team is too good is like Damwon. But if I look at any other team in the entire tournament, I feel like they make a lot of sloppy mistakes. They're really inconsistent, and for me, that's why like this year felt really, really competitive for the West. Because I actually quite frankly think on another day, like we might have made it out. It's just like these kind of situations, like when it comes down to like the last minute, like sometimes you'll make a mistake, and so today we did. So overall, I'm really happy this year went like that, because as an American, there's always these things where it's like, why should I keep playing? Because the second we go to Worlds, we just get absolutely stomped. But even like last year, we also went 3-3. But the thing with that 3-3 was like we beat Unicorns Alone twice, so it's like you can't really like put the same amount of respect on that. Whereas like this time we actually took out an LCK and LPL team, which and European team. So like this year, like that's why I'm still like happy with the overall season, just because like we actually beat these teams. We just didn't show up when it really mattered.
Yeah. Well, Santorin, what is next for the team? You guys all go back. Do you travel straight home to see your family in Europe? You don't need a pit stop back in LA, or what happens next for you guys?
Yeah, I need to pit stop in LA because I still have health I need to get checked up on, just to make sure like that it stays the way it is, like being pretty healthy. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie that there are still things that I have to deal with. But I'm very hopeful. I mean, also like what the doctor said is like it sounds like it's very clear, like the way we can fix this issue. So that's something I'm really happy about. So I'm gonna like spend a little bit of time in California, and then after that, I will hopefully see my girlfriend, and then also like spend Christmas in Denmark or something like that. So I'm just gonna be like really excited to see all the people that mean the world to me, because this entire year has been such a roller coaster, and I really wish like there was someone with me, that like if my girlfriend or my family, but because of COVID, that just wasn't a thing either.
Yeah. Well, hey, thank you so much for the interview, and I know how brutal it can be to do these conversations after unfortunate losses like today, but I know a lot of North American fans feel very proud of the performance you guys put on today. So is there anything you want to say to anybody who watched, or any of the fans or anybody out there?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, thank you for all the hopium. I did feel it, even though like I know a lot of it was memes. But it's still like nice to see people still rooting and always like having faith that we can do it. This year we didn't do it, but Cloud9 did. So I hope everyone is rooting for Cloud9, and hopefully they can take it all the way.
Yeah, very good. Well, thank you so much, Santorin, again for the interview. I know you got to do the pit stop in LA, but I'm happy that you'll get to get some rest afterwards and spend some time with your loved ones. So thank you so much. And for everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things Worlds right here on my YouTube channel. Bigger, better, cooler. That is how I would describe North America's performance now that Cloud9 has officially made it out, and who knows who else will be after I film this outro. But it's also the exact way that you can describe the new Alienware Aurora that has released in celebration of Alienware's 25th anniversary. This thing looks amazing. It's an evolution of their legendary design that you may have seen before you've checked out their stuff. It's fantastic. It's just so neat to see what they are doing over there with this new setup. It's just so beautiful. So anyway, I'd love it if you guys could go check out the new Alienware Aurora. You can do so at alienware.com/Travis. There's a link in the description below, and use my code. And yeah, it's gonna be fantastic.